Lunch break. How's everybody? Thrilled to be here. And really excited to share his story with everyone. He is an amazing dancer. And hi, Isabel. What's up? So great to have you guys. Dominic. Oh, no, that's not him. Hey, so here's Blake. Isabel, so great to have you on. Blake,
Hello.
how
How
are
are you?
you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I am fabulous. I couldn't be better. Sorry I'm a little late.
No
I try to
worries.
prep myself. I mean, I still never feel ready for for, for all our friends to see me. I personally want to be, hidden, but we're not into hiding. We are into exposing. So, Blake, tell us about you, your extraordinary self. And, I've been kind of starting with the dancers. The lunch break is a chance for us to just like get to know you better and have friends get to hear your story and just kind of come closer together than, we can right now. You're such a positive person. You're so honest and open and sensitive and strong. And we've had our own beautiful journey getting to know each other.
Yeah.
You're one of the newest members. There's a small group of you that are new to the company. Tell us about how you got into dancing and why.
So I started dancing. I grew up in New Jersey, and I started dancing at the age of 3. I have an older brother and sister that were taking dance classes. So my mom decided to enroll me as well, and I just loved it right away.
Mhm.
Um, I started at a competition studio and was at that studio until I was like 13, 14. And it gave me such incredible training, but I think it was like more of a competitive sport. It's like let's win that first place medal type of environment, which is incredible. It brings so much level and diversity to who I am as a dancer now. But then I was like, what is dance? Like, there's something more to it. So I switched and I found it more of an art form, which
Mhm.
like just completely switched my mind from being a dancer into then becoming an artist.
Mhm.
So I think that's when like my training, my idea of this art form expanded a bit more.
Mhm.
And then I also realized that you can go to college for dance.
Mhm.
So I auditioned for Juilliard and I got in, and it was like the most incredible, very difficult
Mhm.
mentally, physically. I mean, it's such informative years of growing up as a human. So
Mhm.
then adding the training, adding the mental wear and tear that it does to you
Yeah.
was was incredibly challenging, but I think it propelled me forward in what I want to accomplish with this art form and what
Mm.
I want to share with this art form.
Right. What was, challenging about I mean, had you ever getting into Juilliard? Wow, that's really hard.
Yeah.
So obviously you did something right from, your training.
Yeah.
What was hard about being in college for dance and was it really competitive or did you feel like it was a really supportive environment? I mean, or both?
It was both. I think the competitiveness drove each of my classmates, and like the dance division, like it kept propelling it forward. So I
Mhm.
think the competitiveness is a natural thing of dance, of dancers, of artists, is always try to not like be better than the other person, but like take what they have and implement it into ourselves to be a better artist. And I think that's how the network grows. But physically, we were dancing from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. almost every day.
Mhm.
um, Different styles of classes. Then we'd have our liberal arts classes. So it was just like constant running around, constantly active. But surprisingly, I even with all of the scheduling, I never felt tired. I'd want to get into the studio at like 9 p.m. and improv with my friends. I'd want to like the environment lended to such a creative mentality that you just wanted to keep discovering. So
Mhm.
I really appreciated that. the environment catering to that, and like really just being a place to create good art, create bad art, while expanding and honing our crafts with our technique and different ways of figuring out how to perform better, just becoming a better artist.
Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. And so tell us about your journey to BalletX. I mean,
Yeah, so
I
I
spent a couple
auditioned.
times at the auditions. I want to give people hope that like it may not happen one year, but it does eventually if it's the right fit.
Yeah, I think a lot of the dance world and getting a job is a lot based on timing and what is available, where you're at energetically, where the company's at energetically, where sometimes it's not going to align, sometimes it's going to align. And I auditioned for BalletX 3 times.
Right.
Once right after my senior year of college, another time like a couple months later, and then my third time I auditioned, I finally got the job. And I
Yeah.
think it was just a matter of where I was at physically. I was in a better place, maybe better place mentally. It was right. I was more, I don't know, it's so specific in dance companies because you have to fit into a certain mold of that identity of the group at that time, whatever it may be.
Right.
So I think it was just important that you just keep auditioning and keep reaching for something that you really want to be a part of. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not, something else greater or something else different will be there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously you wanted to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
You really did what it took, and physically you just really strong. You're such a natural mover. You're so musical, and what's really astounding about when choreographers work with you is how tall are you?
6'2".
You're 6'2" and you move like you're 5'2", and I mean that like you can be high up and down within a second. um what do you Why do you think you have that ability? Is this just some god-given natural talent or what?
I think in school I like was always like just I was one of the tallest in my class, so I just always felt so responsible to be as nimble and be as quick as my smaller classmates. So like I think having someone another male dancer that's a lot shorter than me and how quickly they can get to the floor and how fast the process is that I want to be how I can be as directed and incredibly tall, but I want to have the same ability and same approach to floor work and getting up and off the floor. How can I be a really tall person and still make that happen? So like that was like a really big focus while I was at school personally, is to be as nimble and quick as possible with floor work and that.
So you really didn't set any like boundaries. You were like, I want to do this. Some
Yeah,
people like it just starts right here, right? They're
yeah.
like,
The mind is the biggest boundary, and I
yeah,
think once you can like open the mind and have freedom in that aspect, agree. It's also important to have boundaries in some regards, not to just
right,
be completely
right.
airheaded about everything, but the freedom to want to be anything you can be is, I think, really helpful to achieving at least a part of that
Mm-hmm.
want or desire.
Totally. That's so important.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that. I mean, it's not just a matter of like, let me think and it'll come true. I mean, there's loads of layers to that, but it does start with the thought. It's almost like that's
Yeah.
the seed, and then the fertilization is the work that goes into all of that. What are some of the challenges of being in a dance company, and what are some of the benefits, or not benefits, that's not the right word, but some of the things you treasure about
Yeah.
being in a dance company?
So I treasure working with my colleagues every day,
Mm-hmm.
just to be in an environment that's so artistically fulfilling is really incredible. And I'm so fortunate and lucky to have that. The chance to be able to perform around the world, the chance to invest in all these new choreographic processes,
Mm-hmm.
all these extremely talented choreographers, the chance to perform in Philly 3 times 2 week seasons or 2 week runs, so you can really invest and give time to a piece, and it's not just like perform once, goodbye, see you next time, but that there's this really thoughtful process to figuring out how to the best to perform that piece, or
Right.
yeah, to best perform it. Some difficulties in being in a company is just the mental,
The direct.
art. But the directorship, you've been incredible. You've been able to push and challenge at times when it's necessary. And being an artist, it's hard to have that personal drive sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have someone to give you that reminder. No, no, no. You need to keep pushing forward. You need to keep trying to attain the best version of yourself. Be the best version. Be the best technician.
Yeah.
And it's really important to have someone that can propel you forward in that sense sometimes. So I really appreciate your hardness because it's
I'm
so
sharing.
helpful. But yeah, being in a company, it's difficult because every day it's a large workload, and you go
Yeah.
back and forth between all of these different pieces that require different qualities, different layers of your artistry. So you just have to like constantly be going back and forth, and
Right.
that can get physically and mentally draining. But I think something that keeps me not completely depleted is my colleagues, and
Nice.
having that moment of like laughing with each other and just like really enjoying each other's company. I think that keeps us all able to keep floating.
Yeah. I mean, you came in and really, clicked with everybody, and that's
Yeah.
so important. Um, what do you love about world premiere choreography, and what is a standout collaboration that you've done with BalletX that you want to talk about?
So I love the creative process is where I feel most fulfilled.
Mm.
I feel like I can most actively use my training, my artistry, my brain. Everything is just like within a new creation. The possibilities are endless. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoy that as opposed to learning something that's been created before. It has its limitations of what it was, what it can be. But with new choreography, it's the options are endless. The movement can go anywhere. The ideas are completely endless. So I think that's what I really enjoy about all of the new works that we get to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
what
is
was the
there one
second?
ballet that sticks out, or two, or tell
Yes,
us?
I really enjoyed. I mean, there's been so many, but I've really enjoyed working with Carlos Soto. It was like my first week when I joined in July, and it was
Mm-hmm.
probably the most intense week I've ever had because it
Ever,
was in the middle of the summer. It was so
right?
hot, and he's just so rigorous in the demands that he wants, and it's so challenging to keep performing to that level every time, but he
Right.
makes you believe that you're capable of doing it, and then you find at the end of it you are capable of it, and it's
Right.
not something that is unattainable or completely out of sight. But if you just like keep working at that 100% threshold, then you'll be able to propel yourself forward more.
Right. Right.
um yeah, so I really enjoyed his process. I enjoyed the rigor of it. I enjoyed his humor. I enjoyed um the clarity in his vision. Artists have the tendency to be stubborn. I'm super stubborn with like what we want, but I think the clarity that he brought to what he saw in his vision was so important to making his vision come true and making my vision of what he wanted his vision to come true.
Oh yeah, yeah. That it, it is. I find that asking, you all the different feedback, there's similar response. I think dancers are hungry for clarity. They're
Yeah.
you also hungry for being pushed in a positive, you know, I think instinctually you want to be asked to have your level raised. You're already there, right? But
Yeah.
if the people that you're collaborating with can push you, because that's what it takes, like you think of an Olympian athlete and it's like there's a coach there timing you. You know, there's someone right there saying that was
Yeah.
it, a little bit better. And when you
Hmm.
have a choreographer that can do that, man, it's just like gold, right?
Yeah.
Because you're
It's
working something together.
yeah. And it seems unattainable at first, but you realize that together you can achieve it.
How has it been for you moving to Philadelphia? And like,
It's
what
been incredible. I love Philly.
do you?
So my partner, he lived here like when I was in New York, he lived here, so we were long distance for a couple of years. And finally, once I would always come to visit Philly, but it never felt like my city. Like I always just felt like a visitor. So when I finally got the job with BalletX to move here and call this home, it was just like really incredible. I finally got to explore the city as an individual. So like not just with my partner, so I can like see what I really enjoy about the city. And I love it here. I love the community. I love the contrast between the old antiqueness to it and the new art murals, and just the balance of the city is so beautiful. The history. It's a really great city.
It
I'm
is.
happy I can live here.
Ah, it's awesome. And you feel like you're close to so many other great cities, New York,
Yeah.
Boston. You know, it's not, we're like right sandwiched in with great
Yeah,
art.
I'm over New York though. I had my time there. I love it. I was there for 7 years. I
Oh,
experienced it. I don't think I would ever move back unless specific things happen. But
yeah,
the New York City is a beast. That's what I really enjoyed about coming to Philly is the pace of it seemed way more attainable, and I felt like I could get so much more done without feeling exhausted all the time.
yeah.
Because I wasn't running. I wasn't spending all of my money. I could just breathe and get stuff done.
Right, 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 right. And Philly folk, we like to talk. We like to
Yes,
I mean, not that New Yorkers don't, believe me. We're all in it. We love New York, and we're praying for New York and
of
praying.
course.
Has there been anything that, you know, you're learning in this time? I mean, what a strange, crazy time. Uh,
Yeah.
we talked a
I,
little bit about it last night, but like, what's going to be your takeaway? Because we will get back together.
we will. We need to. My takeaway. I think this time has been really informative. Um, to like kind of just break down what is art and what is dance for myself. You know, with the hustle and bustle of working all the time, you kind of like are just on this autopilot of like, yes, I want to be this great artist, I want to be this incredible dancer and share that with as many people as possible. But what is like the components that make up myself as an artist? Who am I as an artist? Who am I as a dancer without having to work 9 to 5, without having to be in a studio with my colleagues, to have someone in the front of the room directing me? Like, what is dance and its purpose for myself? And I think the time away has been really informative to help me discover that a little bit more. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's challenging at times to stand at a ballet bar in my basement by myself and just do the ballet. You know, it's the connection that we share through the art form with all of the people within the room we take class with is so important and vital. But it's like take that away and see what the foundation of it all is, and how with that better understanding of the foundation, how can we continue to build upward or
Right.
outward or in any direction? How do we have a better sense of what we have and now keep pushing forward?
Mm-hmm. To you, what is great? What would it mean to be a great artist? What are we trying to do here?
I think to have some type of impact on someone's life, whether it's very small, whether it's one person, whether it's a community. I think especially now, like I was talking to some of my classmates from Juilliard, and a lot of them are just questioning why are we still doing this? Why are we artists? Why are we dancers? Like it's so unstable at times. But I think now more than ever, and like throughout history, the moments of depression or pandemics, anytime there's something where you have to be isolated, I think this is the time where a lot of great art is going to be produced. And
Yeah.
I think art has an even more importance in the world now because of this lack of connection. And I think once we get back to whatever the new normal may be, I think art is just going to be so vital to keeping everyone loving and being human and connecting and sharing. And I think, yeah, that's that. So I think art should just reach and heal and connect and love as many people as possible. I think if like the art was a person, it would just hug as many people that need that hug as possible.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's, if art were a person, it would hug the world.
It
I
would.
think I just feel like the art world has just, even though we're working in our different sectors,
Hmm.
opera, theater, ballet, composition, orchestras, it's like we all have this similar response that we do just want to give. Like art, it's just like ready to say, we're here for you, the world. We're here to process our emotions, our solitude, our fear, our anger, our, everything that we're feeling. I mean, fortunately we haven't had, I mean, anger's coming out in different ways, but I think through art we really just want to share the love that we have,
Yeah.
for happening. Um, my son is right here.
Hello.
On
Hey,
Instagram.
Warren.
Oh hey, my Blake. Goodness. Yes, great. If they're here. Uh, yeah, I need to hit my grades too. Um, you look fantastic, Blake,
My
by the
hair's
way.
so long. You know, I
Love.
think it's important for all of us to feel like a little ugly, a little like, oh, that's what we look like without like the proper care and the hair. I think it's grounding to be like, oh, just a little
Oh,
reality check.
I've
Then
got
when
it
we
every
get
lunch breaks. I'm like,
when we all get beautified afterwards, we'll look back and we'll see, wow.
um, it's just, extraordinary being with you. I'm so thrilled to have you in BalletX and be a part of
So
our.
happy to be here.
And I really look forward to being back in the studio with you guys. And I know that we're working right now. Tell us about working with Penny Saunders. I mean, you're working virtually with Penny on a
I brought my
school.
cowboy hat.
Yeah, baby. Tell us about
So
Cowboy.
yeah, I've been working with Penny Saunders, and I was really excited to get the opportunity. Right before I joined the company, I saw her piece Rockabye, and I was so inspired by the level of depth that she went into and how she, I don't know, it was just such a thoughtful story, and it wasn't like a very narrative story, but the abstract version of what she created was so incredible. And the chance to work with her now is really amazing because we're working on this one-on-one Zoom call. It's just me and her, and we're figuring out how to present this idea of being a cowboy, how to present this idea of maybe more traditional values. A lot of it comes from her personal experience and what she's grown up with and the environment she's experienced. But I think we all can connect to that idea of traditional values, whether it's within our family, within ourself, and that idea of what traditional values do we want to keep moving forward and what do we want to leave in the past. And I think it's an exploration of the conservative part of us,
Sure.
the more freeing part of us. And yeah, it's been really incredible to work with her. We've created a 5-minute solo so far, and me and Tara Keating are going to film it today outside, which has
Great.
been a really incredible change of pace because we never get to film things. It's all about just performing, which is so important, and I absolutely love performing. But now taking your mind and warping it into how is this going to look good for film? how can you get the same message, the same feeling, the same thing across over a camera as you do in live performance? And I don't think it has the same effect, but you want it to have some type of effect. You want it to still have meaning, still have purpose. So I'm excited to film it today and see where it goes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Uh, about being a part of our lunch break and for sharing some of your story. Um,
What'd you say? Oh no. I can't hear you. Bye. Love you.